deep in the dense, unyielding woods, lay a haunting truth. The once alluring Kayla Kelley had met her cruel fate, buried beneath a blanket of rotting foliage. Her beauty was matched only by her relentless drive for success, and this very ambition led her down a treacherous path. As she fell prey to the deceptive charms of Kevin Brown, the air was heavy with betrayal. The eerie stillness seemed to mourn her tragic downfall. Kayla's ambitions were grandiose, and she saw Kevin as her key to unlocking them. Little did she know, his secrets were like a volatile bomb waiting to detonate and bring about her untimely demise. Welcome to No Tears for Black Girls, a true crime series created, written, and produced by award-winning writer John Reedburg and hosted by Samantha Paul. The setting was McKinney, Texas, a quaint town where festivals and carnivals provided momentary respite from the harshness of reality. But for Kayla, that reality was always lurking in the shadows. Hailing from Huntsville, Alabama, a place rife with drugs and crime, she endured a turbulent upbringing with parents who were imprisoned due to their addiction. Forced to live with relatives, her youth was scarred by constant trauma and uncertainty. Yet through sheer determination and resilience, she poured all her energy into her studies and emerged as a shining star in school, determined to break free from the vicious cycle and forge her path towards a better future. After graduating her undergrad with honors, Kayla moved to Florida to pursue her master's degree. But she never forgot her struggles growing up and always yearned for more economic opportunities. So when Raytheon opened a new facility in McKinney, she jumped at the chance and moved there in 2021. Within a year, she had already risen through the ranks to a management position. Kayla was a vibrant and compassionate woman, known for her big heart and love for others. Her dreams of marriage and motherhood were what drove her every day. So when she met Kevin Brown online in the summer of 2022, it seemed like fate. He embodied everything she wanted in a partner, and even took her ring shopping, giving her hope for the future. But as their relationship progressed, Kayla began to uncover dark secrets about Kevin's true identity. And when she threatened to expose him, it ultimately led to her tragic demise. In just 28 years of life, Kayla achieved so much, but her biggest dream remained unfulfilled. Now, her loved ones are left to grapple with the betrayal that ultimately cost her untimely demise. For months, they were the perfect couple, laughing, exploring, and falling in love. But it all came crashing down when Kevin Brown revealed himself to be Ocaster Ferguson, a married man leading a double life. Playing on Kayla's trust, he carefully avoided leaving any trace of his true identity whenever they were together, paying only with cash and hiding his documents in the car. But fate caught up to them when they were pulled over by two officers who discovered his deception. This only fueled Kayla's suspicions, and she took matters into her own hands. While he slept, she hacked into his phone and uncovered not only his wife's number, but also 3 other women he was seeing. In a fit of rage and betrayal, she vowed to make him pay. But in her quest for revenge, Kayla failed to consider the potential consequences for those she would expose. And on that fateful night, January 10th, 2023, at 2:29 a.m., she made a choice that would change everything, for better or for worse. Kayla hastily sent a message to his 3 women, revealing the shocking truth of his infidelity and deceit. She then reached out to his wife, requesting a meeting to disclose the news. When she confronted him in a fit of rage, he retaliated by throwing her phone at him and attacking her in a frenzy. In a desperate attempt to protect his secret from his wife, Ocaster convinced Kayla to accompany him as they visited each woman to deny any existing relationship between them. However, consumed by fear and desperation, Ocaster made the terrifying decision to eliminate Kayla before she could reveal the truth to his wife. As Kayla sat unsuspectingly in the car with Ocaster, he brutally attacked her, strangling her until she was no longer able to fight back or defend herself. In just a matter of seconds, she became another victim of his ruthless actions. O'Caster forcefully shoved Kayla into the backseat of her car, turning off her phone and stashing it away with his own. He drove to a desolate location near his home in Grand Prairie, concealing Kayla's body behind some bushes before changing his clothes and grabbing a small shovel from her car. Next, he drove to Walmart, where he purchased a gas can and headed to work on Grand Lakes Boulevard in Grand Prairie, Texas. O'Caster was meticulously aware of Kayla's phone tracking capabilities and made sure to turn it on only when necessary, knowing that investigators would be searching for her rather than him. During his lunch break, surveillance footage captured him using 3 different phones, one of which was later identified as Kayla's. He sent a text message asking her to bring him lunch, claiming she did not show up. As the day went on without any sign of Kayla, O'Caster turned off her phone and left work without clocking out, according to his employer. He walked to where he had parked Kayla's car and then drove to a gas station, buying gasoline and a lighter with cash, before heading back to the secluded area where he had buried her body. There, he dug a shallow grave and removed all of her clothing before placing her face down on the ground. After sending another text message pretending to be concerned about her whereabouts, O'Caster disposed of Kayla's clothing and the shovel in her car before driving for an hour to a secluded area in Frisco. He set fire to her car with gasoline and threw her phone into the flames as well. Finally, he walked away and created a Lyft account, ordering a ride back to his house in Grand Prairie. Kayla failed to show up for work on January 10th due to O'Caster's actions that morning. When she also didn't show up on January 11th, her co-workers became worried and tried to contact her. After not receiving any response, they reached out to her emergency contacts, none of whom had heard from Kayla. Her cousin, who had been trying to reach her since the previous day, found it odd that she hadn't responded, as Kayla was always diligent about answering calls. The investigation into Kayla's disappearance was just beginning, but little did anyone know that O'Caster was the one responsible for her death. As the second workday drew to a close on January 11th, multiple frantic 911 calls flooded the Collin County Police Department. Kayla Kelley, a young woman with a promising future, was reported missing by her cousin, friends, and co-workers. This prompted authorities to take swift action, conducting a welfare check at her home the next morning. But Kayla was nowhere to be found. Instead, they discovered her dog Chili locked inside, surrounded by feces and without food or water, a sight that chilled them to the core. According to Kayla's loved ones, her dog was like a child to her, and she would never leave it alone for an extended period. Something was wrong. Upon further investigation, it was revealed that Kayla had recently discovered that the man she had been seeing, Kevin Brown, was O'Caster Ferguson, a married man. She had planned to confront his wife about their affair, but was met with resistance from friends and family who did not want to get involved in the situation. Now, they were fearing the worst. During the welfare check at Kayla's home, investigators also found a stolen Lexus belonging to O'Caster's wife parked outside. A search warrant was quickly obtained, and inside they found duct tape, gloves, and a towel. Using location data from Kayla's phone, investigators determined that she had last used it on January 10th at 6:39 p.m. on Grand Lakes Boulevard in Grand Prairie, Texas. The following day, on January 12th, the Frisco Police Department reported finding Kayla's burnt car in a remote location in their city, an act not consistent with a natural fire. Meanwhile, interviews with Kayla's inner circle revealed that she had been in a relationship with O'Caster since the summer of 2022, confirming suspicions that he was involved in her disappearance. On January 13th, investigators went to O'Caster's workplace to question him. Despite admitting to being in a relationship with Kayla, O'Caster claimed he had no idea where she was, as she had dropped him off at work on January 10th, but failed to return for him as planned. The pieces were slowly falling into place for the investigators. On January 14th, they connected O'Caster's phone records to the Frisco area where Kayla's burnt car was found and placed him in the area at the time of the arson. With this new evidence, they paid Ocaster another visit, but he continued to deny any knowledge of Kayla's whereabouts. That is, until his story changed, and he admitted to being with her on the evening of January 10th, when she picked him up from work. He claimed they went to her house together, but when pressed about her whereabouts in the car, he confessed she was in the back seat. This was enough for authorities to arrest Ocaster for kidnapping and arson. But as their investigation deepened, more disturbing information came to light. Ocaster's phone data revealed that after leaving the wooded area where Kayla's body was found, he traveled back to Frisco and created a rideshare account to get a ride back to Grand Prairie on January 11th. With this new evidence, his charges were upgraded to include first-degree murder, and his bond was set at $1 million. During his trial in May 2024, Ocaster's wife testified on his behalf, painting him as a good man who would never harm anyone. However, she also revealed that she had suspicions of his infidelity since their marriage in 2018, and even caught women showing up at their house looking for him. It seems that Ocaster had a pattern of manipulating and taking advantage of vulnerable women like Kayla. Kayla's friends and family warned her about getting too involved with Ocaster, especially after finding out he was already married. But she refused to listen and continued pursuing him, blinding herself to his lies and manipulation. In her quest for revenge, Kayla didn't stop to consider Ocaster's reaction, ultimately leading to her tragic and planned death. It serves as a reminder to never let emotions cloud your judgment and to always listen to the warnings of those who care about you. Despite our pleas for men to stop killing women, cases like Kayla's continue to occur. Ocaster had no regard for the life of his victim, only using her for his selfish desires. But thanks to the hard work of investigators and prosecutors, justice was served, and Ocaster will spend the rest of his life locked away from society, unable to harm any other woman. The cold, hard truth cannot be denied. It is a known fact that women are the primary targets of these vicious attacks. I implore you to take this warning to heart and always remain cautious for your safety. Kayla should have realized the danger of confronting her lover, Ocaster Ferguson, about exposing their affair to his wife. A desperate man will stop at nothing, as evidenced by the tragic outcome of Kayla's mistake. One can never predict the consequences of their actions until it's too late, as Kayla unfortunately discovered. While it may not always guarantee protection, thoroughly investigating a potential partner is essential in avoiding devastation. But for Kayla, ignorance led to her untimely demise. Now, at just 33 years old, Ocaster Ferguson has been condemned to spend his life behind bars for a crime he foolishly thought he could get away with. Justice may have been served, but it cannot bring back Kayla's life or heal the wounds of those she left behind. Thank you for tuning in to No Tears for Black Girls. This series is skillfully crafted by acclaimed writer and producer John Reedburg with the guidance of unapologetic host Samantha Paul. Catch new episodes every Tuesday and Thursday on all major podcast platforms. You can listen anywhere, anytime. And if you truly enjoy our content, please leave a 5-star rating and positive review. Remember to stay loved, stay blessed, and stay safe.